Hello, folks. This is the first daily update for Midwesthockey.info, where I hope to update all of the major matches or all of the matches involving Midwest-based hockey teams. That's my goal, to do this on a daily basis, and then also follow up with coverage on Midwesthockey.info, my website. So tonight, it's kind of a weird starting point. I know it's late in the season, but the nice thing about starting right now is it seems like every match has huge connotations on the regular season. I know there's only 4 games tonight for Midwest-based teams. 3 of them involve the NHL teams. There's 5 Midwest-based teams in the National Hockey League. 3 of them are in action tonight, and the other one is kind of a historical game for a team in the Ontario Hockey League. So with that said, let's get at this. I kind of ranked the 3 games tonight, maybe on a bit of a personal level. Ironically, the first game I'm talking about is the Detroit Red Wings at Carolina. They just happen to be the only team of the 5 Midwest-based teams that will not participate in the regular season, or in the postseason this year, in the postseason. How rare is that the Red Wings won't be there? I can tell you how rare it is. The first time in 26 seasons. So the Red Wings are playing out the string. They will be officially eliminated from the postseason, likely sometime this week. If not early next week. They might get on a bit of a roll here. Who knows? But they're playing Carolina tonight. And the reason this is of interest to me is it's kind of a rarity in that the Wings are playing the second game in 2 nights, and they will continue on to play a third game in 3 nights tomorrow night. And I honestly, in all the years that I've watched the NHL, I've never heard of this happening before. It's certainly not something that the schedule makers planned. This has come about because of a compressor issue earlier this season, forced a postponement for a game in Carolina, so they had to reschedule that game. And clearly what they decided to do was just make it a double. The Red Wings will be in Carolina tonight and then again tomorrow night, so they just turned it into a 2 games and 2 nights thing. With the win in Minnesota last night added, it makes for 3 games and 3 nights. The only thing that makes it a little bit easier, I guess, is that they won't have to travel between the second and third games. So almost like a little mini playoff between 2 teams that likely won't be in the playoffs this year, although Carolina still has sort of a slim shot at getting in. Like I said, the Wings took a 3-2 win in overtime last night in Minnesota. So they're looking to build off of that and maybe move past a team or two in the race for the basement, I guess, or the lottery pick. Sometimes teams hope that they lose down the stretch to get a better overall draft pick, or a chance at a better overall draft pick. The Wings likely will be in the lottery. I think right now they're ranked 3rd from the bottom overall, maybe 4th. And then they put Vegas in there as well, and that would put them 5th. So Vegas will come in as the 3rd team from the bottom this year. So they are definitely looking at a pretty decent draft pick this year, and how unusual is that for the Red Wings? So the other game that's interesting for me is kind of like the opposite end of the spectrum, I guess. It's the Chicago Blackhawks are in Tampa tonight, and the Blackhawks are cruising right now. They're a team that knows how to be ready for the playoffs, and they are definitely in playoff mode right now. They actually took 13 of a possible 14 points in 7 games, but saw that come to a sudden end on Saturday. Excuse me. Also in Florida, when the Panthers just hammered them 7-0. That has to be the most lopsided defeat of the season for the Chicago Blackhawks. Not a huge. It's not. Part of the reason that maybe that they didn't put up the effort was because the game didn't really have the importance for them that it does for a lot of other teams. They actually are first in the Central Division with a 7-point gap on the Minnesota Wild, which is suddenly just kind of dropped off a cliff here at the end of the season. They're obviously looking to straighten things out in the Twin Cities ASAP before the start of the playoffs. But right now they're riding a bit of a slump. Some people would say better now than later, I suppose. But Minnesota needs to figure things out. For the Hawks, as I said, they're looking to certainly they might be a little angry after that 7-0 blowout in Florida on Saturday. The interesting thing tonight, though, is that this game is probably much more important to the Lightning, a team that's desperately trying to keep the playoff door open. They're 3 or 4 points out of a playoff spot right now, and they kick off a 4-game homestand tonight against the Blackhawks. The games are spread out nicely, too. It's over the next 2 weeks, so they won't be pushed hard. They can just prepare and play. But these games are huge for Tampa, as their playoff hopes are kind of getting thinner and thinner with every game. Obviously, they've had their share of injuries this year. Blackhawks will be facing a desperate opponent tonight in Tampa, so it'll be interesting to see how that works out. Now, both the Red Wings and Chicago will be dropping the puck just in a matter of minutes here. I realize as I'm doing this, I probably should be doing these in the morning to give people a little bit more time to see them before the games actually take place. So hopefully that'll be something I can change in the near future. The other game involving a Midwest team is the St. Louis Blues will be at home to the Arizona Coyotes. And the Blues have been, really kind of up and down this year. As of right now, they're a wild card team in the Western Conference. It won't change. They won't fall out of the playoffs. The line between them and Calgary, and then the rest of the pack has gotten to the point where they're somewhat comfortable now. It might not be mathematical, but certainly I think it's a 7 or 8 point gap. So the Blues will not miss the playoffs this year. They do actually have a chance to move a little bit higher, though. They enter the game tonight. They are entertaining the Coyotes, as I said. They enter the game tonight 1 point behind the Nashville Predators. If they could slip past the Predators, they would climb into the third spot in the Central Division. And reward for that, if you want to call it a reward, would likely be a first-round playoff against the Minnesota Wild, as opposed to the first-place Chicago Blackhawks, or possibly whichever team comes in first in the Pacific Conference. I'm not sure what the relationship is between St. Louis and Calgary. The Blues actually won 4 games in a row, so they were kind of on a hot stretch, but they dropped a 3-2 decision in overtime to Calgary, on Saturday. That was a battle of wild card teams. Both teams are headed to the wild card as of right now, so that was an interesting game there. But the Blues will be looking to stay hot, pick up this win against Arizona, and maybe have a bit of an eye on the scoreboard where the Nashville Predators will be in action tonight in New York against the New York Islanders. So both teams looking to keep pace or move past, the Blues case, move past the Coyotes and possibly move into a better playoff spot. So that's it for the NHL. Those 3 games, all 3 of them interesting, if not important. As I said, the rest of the pro leagues, AHL, ECHL, SPHL, and Federal League, all are all idle tonight, and most of the junior teams are as well. other than one Midwest-based team, which will be making a bit of history tonight in the Ontario Hockey League. The Flint Firebirds will play host to its first ever playoff home game. The team made the playoffs this year after missing in its inaugural season last year. They earned a tough opponent. It's the 7th seed in the West Conference. They had to play the 2nd seeded Soo Greyhounds, but they could not have come out of the Sioux in better shape. At least I don't think they could have. I suppose they could have swept it, but instead they earned a split in the Sioux. They dropped the first game 5-2, but then rallied back on Saturday with a 6-3 win. The big hero on Saturday night was Mauricio Colello, a 97, who he scored twice and added an assist. Captain Alex Peters, a 96, who was drafted a couple seasons ago by the Dallas Stars. Assistant Captain Ryan Moore, a 97 from Troy, Michigan, and another Michigan native, Jalen Smerrick, a 97 from Detroit. Each of them picked up a goal and assist. So some big nights for those four guys. And the Flint Firebirds will be looking to take advantage of playing on home ice in their first ever home playoff game. So good luck to the Firebirds. They also will be dropping the puck in exactly 2 minutes. From what I can see, all other junior leagues are idle tonight. So we'll talk about some of those other leagues tomorrow, I'm sure. And while I do a daily update on this show, I'm also hoping to do some league-by-league previews and reviews over the course of the next week to kind of get things all up to date. So I hope you'll tune in to Midwesthockey.info. I'll keep putting the news out there or updates as often as I can, and hopefully you'll tune in to watch my YouTube videos. You can like or subscribe to my videos if you so desire. That'd be great if you would. And at the same time, I will update my website, Midwesthockey.info, and hope to get that cruising along as well. The video updates seem to be easier right now because as soon as I'm done talking, they're finished. But I will strive to get the website updated as well. And I will have Trent Barney helping me with some of the videos, likely for the NHL teams as we hit the all-important playoff games coming up. So I hope you'll tune in tomorrow.